This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Yay, Jason Glick. So, how are you doing, and how was that trip to Comic-Con?
It was great. It's like I'm still kind of wiped out because I did the whole 4 day. Well, been there since Wednesday for preview night, and it was a blast. It was a lot more manageable than last year because apparently not having all those tryhards there did make a difference in terms of crowd sizing control.
Tryhards, I like it.
Yeah, of course. I stayed the hell away from Hall H this year because after last year, it's like nothing that was worth lining up over 2 hours in advance. So I just went to a lot of different panels. Got to see Moto Hagio, the great legendary shoujo manga artist. Got to see Jason Thompson, author of Manga: The Complete Guide, King of RPGs, and all-around great speaking presence in like three different panels. Got to see Sean Phillips in person, and and also got to see a lot of great stuff. There, it was a lot of fun. Bought a lot of stuff, and trust me, you'll all be hearing about this. It's like as I do my write-ups on everything.
As it trickles down, huh? It will trickle down to our audience.
Yes, it will. Yeah. Yeah. Well, first, to kick things off, I'm starting off with stuff that I wanted to write up before I left, but didn't have the time because. And part of it is also relevant because I actually did pick up one of these volumes at Comic-Con. But first up on our business day is Black Lagoon, Volume 9 by Ray Hiroe. Okay, now this is the thickest volume of Black Lagoon yet. I mean, you look at it and it's friggin' huge, almost 275 pages, and this is basically the wrap up to Baile de la Muerte, which is, as I've been told, Spanish for the Dance of the Dead. And this is the basis for the new OVA series, Roberta's Blood Trail. Now, those of you who haven't heard, this involves the return of Roberta, the killer maid from the first season of Black Lagoon. Her master. What was that kid's name? Damn it. Garcia. His dad was killed in a terrorist attack in Venezuela, and she's tracked down the killers, a group of U.S. special ops soldiers, to Roanoke, and she's about to bring the hammer down. Problem is, not only has Garcia come into town with another maid, Fabiola, who is almost but not quite as badass as Roberta, but all the major heads of the town, including Mr. Chan and Balalaika of Hotel Moscow, basically see Roberta's quest as a very, very bad thing. Because if she does kill these special forces people in Roanoke, that's going to attract a lot of unwanted U.S. attention, which could potentially shut the town down for good.
Right.
Caught in the middle of this, naturally, is our heroes from the Goon Company. Rock naturally agrees to help out Garcia and to try and find a way to get Roberta back. It's like back in his employ. But as we see, it's like Roberta. I mean, she's been suppressing these killing instincts for way too long, and chance to finally go hog wild in the town almost proves too tempting for her to refuse. So, thing is, for the most part, it's a really entertaining series, really entertaining run of the series. It's also the first time I've read a arc of Black Lagoon that hasn't been in the anime before. And I have to admit, Volume 7 was a great setup. It showed Hiroe slowly moving everything into place. It's not very action heavy, but shows you there's a way of outlining what's at stake, what everyone's doing in order to counter Roberta's actions, and just basically Roberta's state of mind, because she's also halfway to crazy as well, because she's also not only she's chomping down Ritalin by the bottleful, she's having visions of people who she's killed in the past come back to haunt her, and that actually comes into play later on in the stories when she actually does meet up with Garcia, and for the most part, it's generally really entertaining, especially when the shit hits the fan, Volume 8, and Roberta starts attacking the U.S. soldiers. Now It shows that Hiro has great chops for action, but also I love the moral ambiguity he brings to all this stuff because the soldiers, I mean, they're not it's like they're not like you're not like star chewing evil badasses. I mean, they're just guys who are, hey, we're here to do a job, and unfortunately, this one bit of collateral damage that from our previous jobs is now coming back to get us. But still, hey, we've got a job to do. When we're gonna go ahead and do what we've come here to do. And the problem is, well, Roberta does have like some moral justification on her side. The fact that she is clearly enjoying this really does make makes it hard for you to actually like fully sympathize with what she's doing. And as always, like you get some nice moral commentary from Revi, who basically winds up giving Fabiola a quick rundown of how ethics work here. And problem is, Fabiola, like, as good as an impression she makes in the beginning, she just grates on my nerves because she is self-righteousness about how much of a moral sewer this town is. Just, I mean, it's like wake up and smell the coffee, lady. You're in. Like, we know this is a horrible town, and we know that it's not for everyone, but still, like there's stuff that needs to be done here. And so, but the most interesting thing about this arc is what it does with Rock's character, how it shows that even though he's trying to maintain like a balance between like a guy who's not fully part of the city and still someone who's been living there for quite some time, he's eventually become part of the game that's in the town, because he's basically has this challenge with Mr. Chan to try and find a way to a bet to see how this is going to end up in tears, or is he going to be able to bring Rebecca back into the circle. And it's this bit with it's a bit with Rock that eventually morphs into him doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, which I think is a great direction for them to take his character, because it'd be interesting to see him just maintain his goody two shoes attitude, but for entirely selfish reasons. Still, the biggest problem with this arc is that as impressive as the carnage goes, it just starts to feel like a slog towards the end, because we got 2 full volumes of nothing but carnage in Ronapur, and then eventually in the wilds of Thailand, and it's just like you just want to dude, it's like no, this is your epic to end all epics, but man, get on with it already. So I mean it's like there's that problem, but still overall it's a fun, still a very entertaining arc, and I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes with the next volumes, because the series does not end here. In fact, we also get some nice cues for where he's going to go with the next volume, because one of the American soldiers points out to Benny, the Jewish computer hacker who's part of their crew, that Dutch isn't a Vietnam veteran, and that apparently there's some reason behind his lie right there. So definitely looking forward to seeing where they go with that. And still well worth buying for those who are reading the series. And I also have to admit that even though it does go on for too long, it still makes me interested on seeing how the anime creators are going to adapt it, because they've done such a great job with the series so far, and basically just trimming the fat and rearranging the elements of previous arcs. So I'm confident that as good as this was, the anime stands a chance to be better. Speaking of which, John, you did see the first episode of the OVA series at Anime Expo.
Yes, I did.
Any thoughts on that?
It's entertaining. Remember, they can only since it is really one episode, they kind of have to cram a lot into one. But I did get the general flavor of what you're talking about there. Down to I think it was the CIA, right? That wanted to because
they bring in the Church of Violence, Edda, because she's it was revealed in the Greenback Jane arc that she was CIA, and she's basically their eyes and ears in Ronapur.
So I guess that adds a little bit more. They have to compress the story a little bit, just the start of it at least. So I don't know if that, I don't know how drawn out it is in the manga, or if they're going to pull it out more, in subsequent episodes. But it had a pretty good pace to it. So.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing myself once it arrives arrives over here, or conveniently falls off the back of the internet.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, moving on. Let's see. We have another Black series. This one's called Blackest Night. DC's big crossover from last year and earlier this year. Basically, for those of you who don't know, well, actually I talked about this in my Cosmic Crossover podcast last year. At the end of the Sinestro Corpus War in Green Lantern, we found out that there are multiple rings that control multiple colors of the emotional spectrum. And writer Jeff Johns has been slowly introducing the other rings over the course of the last couple of years. We have yet to see any the black rings, the death, which isn't really part of it. Death isn't really an emotion, but it's like it's one of those things you just gotta swallow and get on with it. And if you can't accept that, you're not going. If you look at this and say like, well, will, like hope, compassion, these aren't really like emotions. They're kind of like states of mind more than anything else. I mean, if you're going to be nitpick about that, then you are not going to enjoy this series at all. But still, those of you who can buy into it, it's still a pretty entertaining bit of cosmic crossover, because basically the premise is all these dead superheroes are coming back to life through these Black Lantern rings, and so basically you're dealing with like Green Lantern and all the other major DC superheroes dealing with intergalactic space zombies, which is a lot of fun, and really it's like it generally works because Jeff Johns does a good job of setting up the nature of the threat and basically establishing that this is a very big deal as we get to see lots the sheer amount of, like I said, the sheer amount of dead DC heroes out there. They're waiting to be reanimated and used as zombies in this war are huge. And so when you got all these people come uniting to form one giant army, I mean, it's just bad news for everyone. And Johns does a good job of selling the threat for the most part, even though like it's still kind of like the comic book equivalent of a dinner comprised of nothing but Snickers bars. I mean, it's like there's like, unlike Black Lagoon, there's really no moral ambiguity here at all. I mean, it's like you got the good guys, you got the bad guys. It's like absolute good versus absolute evil for the fate of the universe. And my inner 12-year-old, I think that's really awesome. 30-year-old me thinks that, okay, yeah, there's a has to invoke that willing suspension of disbelief in order to fully get into things. But still, like, there's some nice bits of plotting, like when like there are certain heroes that manage to escape the Black Lantern's wrath for various reasons, and it's eventually, and I like the fact that eventually he's actually setting them up to be deputized as additional Green Lanterns, and that was a nice bit of plotting, because I mean it's basically pure fanboy wish fulfillment for this part, but still like having characters like Scarecrow be a deputy of the Sinestro Corps, like being the avatars of fear, having Lex Luthor teaming up with the Orange Lanterns, like who are the avatars of who represent greed or avarice. I mean that's a nice thing right there. And it's also fun to see that Johns basically has Luthor basically admit that, no, I want everything. I really want to be Superman. So I mean it's a lot of fun, and like assuming you can buy into all this. I mean it's still pretty entertaining, and even though it's like I said, it's $30, it's still like a large chunk of large collection. So you're still getting a lot for your money. And also Ivan Rice's art. I mean, dude. I mean, like the guy's been drawing Green Lantern for years, and he just draws the hell out of all this stuff right here. I mean, he's got a great handle for making all the representing all the characters, showing the action, and just making sure all the storytelling is clear, and you're not having any problems with understanding like what's going on here. Again, great great stuff on there, and I also like the fact that they got a commentary, got director's commentary from the creators involved. Even though it's like it's, I'd like more of this stuff. Even though what I've glanced at so far, it still seems kind of like everyone's really patting themselves on the back for a job well done. But still like I like hearing more about hearing the creators talk about their work as opposed to getting a bunch of um just getting a bunch of sketches from the artist and back, no matter how pretty they are.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. That being said, I did like Blackest Night. In fact, I liked it enough to pick up its companion volume, the Green Lantern collection, which basically, because Blackest Night is it's essentially a Green Lantern story that goes into the main universe, that engulfs the main DC universe. The Green Lantern series is basically kind of was also like front and center throughout this crossover, because basically it filled in a lot of the gaps in the main crossover. Because I mean, like a lot of this, Blackest Night. Make no mistake, Blackest Night is a complete story. There are some things that you're wondering, that they'll leave you wondering how they achieved what was going on, like at the same time, like wondering about the origin of the villainous Black Hand, one of the the chief avatar of the Black Lanterns, what his origin story was, and it's very creepy, bordering on disgusting, and also just how Hal Jordan and the Flash escaped the Black Lantern, Martian Manhunter, what John Stewart was how John Stewart was facing off against the resurrected Black Lantern planet Shanxi, and also just how Hal Jordan rounded up the Rainbow Rodeo, all the other lanterns of different colors in order to combat the threat of the Black Lanterns. That's all in this volume. It's not essential to the story, but still a lot of stuff is still it's decently told, even though it's just get the feeling that a lot of the stuff is just expository. It's like there's not a clear through line throughout these issues. It's like they're just here to fill in the blanks, rather than just tell a solid story. Still, there are lots of good stuff in here, especially the 50th issue, which managed to pull double duty as being like an integral part of the crossover and a good anniversary issue for Green Lantern, because basically Hal Jordan has to fuse again with the evil entity Parallax that corrupted him way back in the day, in order to drive out the Black Lantern's influence from the Spectre, basically the living instrument of God's wrath, and just having how bringing that bit of business back for Hal Jordan to confront does make for a good way to bring the series full circle, at this point anyway. And also the series, these issues are really well illustrated by Doug Mahnke, who he's a series new regular penciler, and he's got a great talent for drawing real monstrous, creepy villains and other entities, and he's like having him show all these giant battles against space, all the Green Lanterns in space, Black Lanterns, and everyone else. So here's a guy who can keep pace with Grant Morrison and whatever his crazy demands are, and he shows that, hey, it's like turn me loose on a regular superhero title that requires this amount of work, and he can do wonders. It's truly impressive to see him working these pages. So overall, it's even though Blackest Night did leave me wanting to know more about the crossover and how the role the Green Lantern series played in it, I can say that this is not an essential volume. It's probably more of interest to people who are fans of the regular Green Lantern series and are just going to be collecting all the issues. But if you just want to get Blackest Night by itself, perfectly willing to do so. Still, it does require you to buy the concept of all these rainbow rings representing things that aren't quite emotions, fight against intergalactic space zombies. Still, that sounds like, hey, if you think that sounds cool, then you're gonna have a good time with this. Yeah. Any thoughts on that, John?
Not any really. It's just kind of interesting how they've decided to expand the Green Lantern universe. I'm just.
Yeah. They're not going to work any of this into the movie, so.
Yeah.
But give them enough time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And on that note, just going to call it a night, and I'm probably just going to go pass out somewhere, or maybe just like start reading through the rest of the Knights of the Old Republic volumes that I picked up at the con.
There you go. Yeah, go through your stash that you went through got at Comic Con.
There's that, and also all the stuff that's still coming out that I wasn't able to pick up at con. And I'm getting through Amazon. So yeah, the fun never stops here at Comic Picks by the Click.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Laters.
Bye.